that's really in the way.
One
And
thing to consider is he had no True Silver champions in his Secret Paladin list.
oh, I didn't notice that actually. Yeah,
None
I
at
know
all.
True Silver is one of the cards that does get cut, but I've not seen a lot of people play Zero.
I generally just play one in Secret Paladin because the Blessing of Kings generally do a lot more work because you have a lot more tokens to play with. But yeah, it's interesting that not even one.
Yeah.
This is what how the meta game is over here. It's very different to ours. I mean, maybe not having True Silver Champion is not an issue in the Chinese meta game because it's
Oh,
not.
hang on. Have both players got secrets? Huh?
What? Hey, say what?
We may have seen the wrong Paladin deck.
We may have seen Love CEX's list.
Yeah, I think they might have loaded up the mid-range Paladin list by accident because I did not spot a secret in that mid-range list.
No, not at all.
Whereas this looks very much like Secret Paladin. So Secret Paladin Mirror, everyone knows this matchup if you've watched Hearthstone at all in the past month or 2 months.
Month to 2 months now, yeah.
Yeah. So all the secrets in hand early kind of sucks though. That's kind of rough. As you want those to be drawn by them, especially with Mysterious Challengers as well, no Secret Keepers. So, yeah, it doesn't look too great for Robin here.
Yeah, Redemption is not going to do a lot, is it, really?
Because it's just going to die to the weapon, so that's, yeah. Normally, Redemption, you can mess about with Redemption with Knife Jugglers. Mini-bots especially are good because they get Divine Shield back. But yeah, it's not really too much there, and suddenly, like, you know, Infi's in the driving seat here. He just draw a mini-bot, though, for Robin. But again, is it enough? Because he could just play Shredder and just carry on. You know, he doesn't even really need to worry about this mini-bot, to be honest.
And Repentance comes down as well. I think this is kind of a bait. I don't think Repentance is strong at this point. Repentance would be stronger on, say, 5 going into 6.
Oh, that Shredder placement, though.
I've noticed this a little
Twitch
bit.
chat, get annoyed. The Shredder placement.
Oh well, he's gonna spawn a hero power next to it. That's what he's thinking, right? He doesn't need the Flame Tongue Totem just yet. But really aggressive stance from Infi here, just taking advantage of this massive board he's generated.
Yeah, and you know when Robin can only answer really with a Shredder of his own, and then like kill the 3/2, and he doesn't know what the secret is, and he's about to find out, as that doesn't even kill off the juggler, and this is definitely a rough position now. The Divine Favor's a bit dead at the moment because there's just not that many cards in Robin's hand for Infi to sort of take advantage of. But, you know, you can always just top deck Lothar.
You can.
You know, that's always an... Oh my god, he played the Lothar in the right place. Okay, we're in business. And yeah, he just ignored the Shredders completely correct here. Just go face, so much pressure, and like Robin just looks like he's been run over here.
Yep, no Consecrate's going to be able to come out because of Lothar. Even if he draws it, he can't even play Mysterious Challenger for some protection. Most you can do is hope for a Doomsayer off either of these.
Nope.
No. Feels bad. And that's it!
Yeah, and that was a swift game 1. Infi, my Warcraft bro, taking the first game with his Secret Paladin. And what's good now is he knows that the Paladin is secrets. So if he faces it again, he knows what to mulligan for, how to deal with it, and what to prep for. As opposed to, again, we saw the popularity of mid-range across the Chinese scene and Asia overall, and that you don't have to... Knowing exactly what deck your opponent has helps you so much in most matchups because you mulligan for specific things to deal with it.
I mean, there's not been much...
And you even know how to play as well. That changes your playstyle.
Yeah, there hasn't been much that's affected Secret Paladin so far with League of Explorers. They got the Keeper of Alderman, but that's kind of a widespread Paladin buff as far as the card goes. And, you know, you were at DreamHack and you saw how many Secret Paladins are in top 8. Just goes to show how powerful that deck is. And even the Chinese scene has come to recognize that and start using it.
Yeah, so at DreamHack there were 200 fantastic players. Some of the best players in the world were there. Hoy specifically stood out with Secret Paladin. I think he ended his Swiss run 19-1.
19-1, wow.
Which is, considering you're playing, I think it was 9 rounds Swiss, I think. And, yeah, it was 9 rounds of Swiss, and you're playing against good people. You know, like, it's not like you're on some random Swiss tournament online or anything. These are some of the best players in the world he was against, and he went 19-1 with his Secret Paladin. The only person to get close to that score, I think Purple went either 19-1 as well, or 18-2 with his Malygos. Yeah, so... you know, Hoy's just ruthless with that deck. And I remember I saw him after every round, And he was just like, yeah, I'm 3-0. I said, oh, what did you use Paladin? And he's like, after the next round, he said, oh, yeah, I'm 6-0. Oh, yeah, I'm 9-0. I'm like, oh, my God, it was insane. But this is Reno Lock.
Reno Lock, yeah, control deck, which just heals for full. It only runs one copy of everything, so you don't have to like wait to draw cards like, say, Reno Jackson Freeze Mage, for example. And, you know, this deck can be really scary against aggro decks, because if they just have Reno ready for 6, all that hard work can be completely destroyed. And this just shows the versatility of the Warlock class right now. We've seen Demon Zoo, we've seen Dragon Lock, we've seen Reno Lock. You know, there's a lot of variety right now as far as the Warlock class goes, and that's what makes Warlock quite strong in some of these formats, is not knowing what they're going to bring.
Yeah, there's some standout picks here that weren't too common. The Clockwork Gnome isn't something we've seen too often in the sort of our versions of Reno Lock, should I say. The Arcane Golem as well is interesting, not something that's too common. As we've seen a lot of the list, I think Surrender's list was the biggest one at one point that ran double Molten Giants. Was the only 2 of, but I personally didn't like that because I'm the type of person who will have 2 Molten Giants at the bottom of their deck, so Reno can't activate. But overall, the deck looks pretty standard. There's 3 forms of AoE, Demon Wrath, Hellfire, and a Shadow Flame. So normally Warlock only runs 3 anyway. But the Demon Wrath, not quite as good, but, you know, still okay. So
it
you
plays
still have
Arena, right? So
yeah, you still have the volume of AoE. And also what's interesting, he ran Faceless Manipulator. So he has Faceless, Arcane Golem, Power Overwhelming.
So he has Burst.
Yeah, so he can actually just burst, which is why I guess the Arcane Golem was there, which I noticed was a bit non-standard. So I kind of like the idea because like it fits into Reno because you just need one of each. Obviously, double Power Overwhelming would be nice, but you're not playing too hard into the combo. The combo's just a nice additional burst effect.
It's just like an added bonus, right? And being able to combo your opponent with some burst damage in this deck, it just makes the deck have more utility, which it already has plenty of anyway, due to like widespread in its card pool for the Reno Jackson effect. So yeah, I think that could be quite a strong addition into these Reno Locks, which I haven't played a lot. I haven't played it at all actually myself. It's not a Warlock deck I would specialize in.
But look at this from Infi. Like he kept Thorson. That's huge. Like to keep. Yeah, he's on the coin, but you're against Secret Paladin. The game could just be over by then. It's crazy.
He's confident.
Yeah, he's super confident. He does have Demon Wrath. But yeah, these Thorson picks really interesting because what if he just snowballs and then drops Challenger turn 6? Like you don't care about Thorson the turn after.
Although Demon Wrath is going to be brilliant against Muster for battle. I mean, if he musters here, he's going to take a lot of damage, which is going to be a bit of an issue if this, like you said, if the Paladin snowballs out of control. But on the flip side, he does get the clear board to kind of reset things. And then he does have Coin Belcher if he wants it, Dart Bomb for something else. So he does have a lot of options here. Yeah,
and the issue here for Robin is that you can't exactly play around Demon Wrath.
No.
You can't really play around any card in this deck because it's all one-offs. And if he didn't know it was a Reno deck, he does now because Demon Wrath is the only Warlock deck. The only Warlock card that you see played in Reno Lock. He can follow up with the Shredder, but as you said, he can just coin into Belch if he really wants. He can just Dark Bomb and play the Zombie Child if he wants to coin Thorson next turn. Like he has a lot of options here.
And this is one of the strengths of this deck. It just has so much utility. So a person who compiled this deck very skillfully.
Not terrible. Though.
That's one of the best things he could have got, I suppose. If he had hit like a Parrot or something, or a Novice Engineer, Mortal Coil would have cleaned it up, and it would have been pretty upsetting for Robin, I think.
But I like this style from Infi. What he's done is he said, I've got Emperor and I've got Coin. I will coin Emperor no matter what. Because some people like fall into the trap of keeping a big drop minion with the coin, but then coining something early on. And it's like, well, why did you keep the minion then? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, commit to your game plan.
Yeah, so he's literally said, I'm going to do this, and this is how I'm going to play. So it's whether he feels under enough pressure, or too much pressure to coin Emperor, or whether he goes Sludge Belcher. Because if he goes Sludge Belcher, then he's sort of going off course now. It is risky to go Emperor, but I think he needs to. Because for all his opponent knows, he has, like, Healbot Molten Giant in hand.
Or
so maybe... Yeah, exactly. So, like, playing the Emperor always gets killed, right? Because it has to die, unless you have lethal. So I kind of like just going with Emperor. Yeah, I like this. Finney's committed to the plan, and this is really good play.
Now let's look at Robin's turn 6 play. He just plays Challenger. The only way he's going to deal with Emperor is smacking it with the weapon, and trading 2 of his spiders, and getting the shield the mini bar. That's a lot of resources he has to commit to take out the Emperor, and he wants to play Challenger this turn, so even if he had a True Silver or something, it would slow him down. I think Emperor was a great play, like you said.
Yeah, and the problem here is, look at his damage. He has 4 damage, 5 with the weapon, but his opponent's on 19. If you do 5, you put him to 14, which makes Molten Giant Taunt available. So it's like, where do you attack? And then if you attack Emperor, you've just thrown a lot of stuff away and open up to a big AoE, and Shadow Flame can just ruin your day. If you top deck Shadow Flame with Power Overwhelming, he just clears the board.
Is he just leaving the Emperor around?
Yeah, and then the next point is leaving the Emperor is always scary.
Ouch. Okay, so he does have big game hunters. Oh, there's Reno as well.
Okay, so you don't play Reno this turn?
No, not. You can wait. You can buy some time.
So you attack in and see where the Avenge goes. If the Avenge goes on the 6/6, you just big game hunter that guy down. This is. Oh, he doesn't have Get Down. Oh, that helps.
Is that Repentance?
Oh, it goes on the 6/6.
Wow.
Oh my god! Look at him. He's like, oh baby, I got this.
He's chewing that lip. He's
very
now, happy.
Yeah, now he can just play the Belcher.
Yeah,
and then
dodges Repentance.
Yeah, he got Repentance on the BGH, so he dodged it. So it's awesome.
And
like, this is so
tick.
good.
And he gets
yeah,
tick.
And now suddenly he can just do whatever he wants next turn.
Wow.
Infi's played this incredibly well. Like, this is insane. Obviously, he got a bit lucky with the Avenge, but he could have still done something. He wouldn't have been dead, because he's still at the point where he could have... I think he could have attacked him with the Emperor. He killed the minion anyway. There's only 4. There would have been 5 damage to the Belcher with the minions, and then the 6/6 would have gone in and had to hit the Sludge, maybe. So, and it's not like he would have been dead next turn anyway, but now, like... He's just got all the options in the world. He can tap whatever he wants because he has Reno. He can just play Reno and Argus if he really wants, because it's not like Secret Paladin runs AoE.
Exactly. He's. I mean, there is there might be the equality in there, but are you really worried? Especially if Robin decides to dump his hand now onto the board, and then he just kind of commits everything. But even then, when he does that, he has to. I guess he has to go for a big competitive spirit here. I think that's all he can really do.
Yeah, but again, the Warlock's still got 2 more AoEs left, and although Infi doesn't have it, he could have, and it's so scary. He has to do it, though, or he's in, like, real trouble. And look, Emperor's going to tick again, guys.
Wow.
Because now, at this point, with the Reno lock, you just don't let Emperor die. You just don't trade it with anything that's going to kill it. You don't care, because it's so safe.
Well, Reno basically makes you, like... Well, it makes it unlosable for you, really, doesn't it? You're never going to be in a point where a Paladin's going to burst you down. They don't do that. Paladin's reach, as far as damage potential goes, from hand is very limited. It's usually a True Silver and a Blessing of Kings at most. So 8 is all you'll ever have to worry about from hand.
Yeah, and just to point out, the coil on the 1/1 was better than the 2/1 because of Redemption.
Yep.
So that was the correct play at first. It might look a bit janky, but that was correct. And now he can sort of just do what he likes. You probably will want to clear off the minions. I like tap here. You could just tap and do what you want. It just doesn't matter anymore. Your opponent's got no cards. Like, at most, you can count the most damage he can have on board.
I like Watcher here with the Argus.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. There's so many options, and like, he is not afraid of dying, because at most, he has what? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. He has 11 damage. Oh no, minus 3 now. So he has 2, 4, 6. He has 8 damage. So like, and what's the Paladin got top deck to get through both taunts and kill him? Like nothing, and then he just Renos next turn. It's crazy.
If he gets Divine Favor, he might be able to come back into this game, but that's if he's running it at all. Tyrion
will help, but
it's not enough.
Still not enough, yeah. Because again, there's just no way to get through it. He has to throw all of his minions into the 5/6 if he wants to get through that through the Ancient Watcher. And at the moment, he's just gone for the smaller trade, and now he just has to just play Tyrion and just snap play it, and hope it's enough with that. It's not as if you can't even hero power. Ugh.
It's so bleak for Robin right here. He had a really clunky hand finding all those secrets, and then getting the Mysterious Challenger, which was great, but then after the Mysterious Challenge got dealt with, he just had nothing left. He just ran out of steam, and Reno Jackson he can play this at his leisure. He'd just be like, oh, I'll just heal the full. What are you going to do about it?
Yeah.
You can tap here.
He just still doesn't even need to play Reno. He can just tap. He could even just play Jiraxxus. It just doesn't matter anymore. Like, that's how stupid it is at this point.
I'm surprised he didn't tap first.
He might want to Reno this turn.
Maybe.
Might feel like he wants to Reno.
So Forsen actually finally gets taken out. That Forsen's
after
done so
18
much.
million reductions. Yeah, he just plays Reno because again, what's the Paladin gonna do? He's just healed for 15, and then even if he gets him low, he just plays Jiraxxus for 6 mana. He can just like tap,
yep, another 15 health.
Tap Jiraxxus hero power to spawn a 6/6.
Yes.
And still be at 15 health. Like, it's just crazy.
But
and again,
Robin's
he can't
fight.
Yeah, oh, he should definitely stay in the game, but we can see that with Jiraxxus on so low mana, he can just play it when he wants. And how close is he to 8, 10? He's got 14 damage from hand. Oh, 14, he's got 17 because he can just play Jiraxxus.
And the one thing that Reno does as well against kind of aggressive decks, I mean, I know the Paladins, the Secret Paladins have become more mid-range over time, but they still rely on kind of using minions to deal damage. Once you heal back to full, you have to do all that work all over again, and you probably don't have enough time if you're top decking 1 card a turn to start trading. You just have to go on the aggressive. And this is when the Warlock gets to go on the aggressive. He heals for full, and then he just says, you can't kill me anymore. So I'm just going to just smack you in the face until you die.
Because the idea as well is that each draw from the Warlock's probably drawing 2 cards a turn, so instantly better than you. But also, each Warlock draw is so much more powerful than the Paladin top decks. So every single turn, you've probably drawn a better card than your opponent, in a vacuum, like singular card on its own, and then that just snowballs in the fact that you can live tap. So you just, I mean, look, he's got to push for damage, then he can just, oh my god, Molten Jiraxxus, why not?
Why not?
Just heal for 1. Who cares? Who cares at this point?
Just, I mean, he's got, how much damage has he got? He's 1 off lethal, right? At the moment.
Yeah, it's 1 off.
So he just needs a Dark Bomb or another power. Well, there's only 1 copy of each. He's used abusive. He
has Arcane going.
Oh yeah, that's true. Oh, low fab. Well, you can do what you want here. Low fab.
Close your eyes, pick a couple of cards, and just play. He should just probably low fab Molten and then clear the board.
Yeah, that seems fine to
me. Just be super safe, like, because Lothar makes it that he can like only cast Blessing of Kings next turn. And now, oh well, this is fine. He doesn't have to Molten. He can do this to clear the board. He didn't really misplay there because it wouldn't have made much difference anyway. But yeah, so there's 3 damage. So there's 5. You probably should trade. Why not? Why not?
1/1 in case of Quartermaster, but it makes no difference. All right, so this is probably the last turn for Robin, and Shield and Mini-Bots just not going to be enough here. And Infi, convincing win.
Yeah, I mean, he played really solid. He got his game plan from turn 1. He knew that no matter what was happening, he was coining out that Emperor and going from there. And let's be honest, the draw of the Reno the following turn was huge. Because the second you have Reno in hand, you can play so much more dangerously with your life. You can just flit around with it and it's not a problem. Because you know, as long as you don't die the next turn, you just drop Reno if you're in trouble and you're back to full. And as I said, each Warlock draw is so much more powerful than the Paladin top decks. So yeah, I mean, super solid play from Infi. Robin didn't really do anything wrong. He just got caught off guard by the Arena Lock, and also the Demon Wrath to clear the Juggler and the 3/1/1s early on was huge. Like, yeah, just clear that and then yeah, go from there, because you just stop the momentum. The whole point of why Secret Paladin is so strong is that it can, on curve, it's probably the best deck in the game if it can just land like every single turn, Mini-Bot into Muster, into Shredder, into Lothar, you know, stuff like that. Like, that's what you need to do with that deck. But you managed to just stop that down. But next, we have a Druid.
It looks like he's decided the Paladin's not quite doing it for me right now. Time to switch it up. So he switched to this mid-range Druid, which is looking very similar to a lot of the other Druids we've seen. One Shade, one Aspirant.
No Scenarios.
No Scenarios this time. He's put Nation of War. And Scenarios, as we've seen, hasn't really done much. 1 Living Roots instead of the Finley, which Sword was running. And it did look quite good at the start because he had the tap. But ultimately, it didn't quite work out. And now we have a Control Warrior. with some interesting additions.
Yeah, I mean, this looks similar-ish to the list hot form round in BlizzCon finals, because he had next to Champion Sarad, which is obviously the stick-out card here. Revenge, again, not common, but it's not like you do see it sometimes. The 3 damage AoE is nice late game, but yeah, other than that, looks fairly standard control warrior. The owl is something that we've seen Stan Sifka actually favor quite heavily. He's been using owl in control warrior for quite a long time.
I think Owl's super important in this metagame because there's so much diversity. Having silence available to you can really swing matches. Take out Sylvanas in control mirrors, take out Tyrion's, avenge targets, all sorts of stuff. So, I think silence is very powerful. We're actually going into the game here. So can Robin get can he get one game off Infi? Because Infi's been playing so solid.
Yeah, he got the matchup, right? So Robin's got the Druid versus the Warrior, which is good for Robin.
And he does find... Well, they both kind of have late game... Well, mid-game to late game stuff. No ramp at the moment for Robin, but Deathspite and... Well, unfortunately, Harrison Jones not good, but Deathspite is definitely something that he's probably happy to see.
Yeah. Oh, and the Force of Nature as well, so... This is not... So... If you're ever going to draw like this, I suppose versus Warrior is okay, because your opponent's going to probably be just as slow as you are. Again, the Fiery War Axe, kind of pointless, just takes the armor up, which is fine. But look at the late game. He has combo. He has like 1.5 combos. And now Sylvanas. Next turn, I imagine we're going to see Coin into Druid of the Claw just to play something. But because you've given the Warrior so much time, then like the odds of just like Shield Block, Shield Slam are pretty high at this point.
Brawl as well, so you can just go into Deathspite here if you want to. He actually just decides to go Fiery. And maybe use this Fiery up, because Fiery's use comes for killing Aspirants. And he hasn't played one, so Fiery will probably mostly be used to deal damage to the face, or maybe help a trade with a Shield Slam or something.
Yeah, well, what's good now is the Druid of the Claws going to come, and he can just Shield Slam and then hit it with the axe to finish off, and it doesn't use up his Deathspite, and now he has another Deathspite.
Deathspite for days.
Oh, what am I talking about? He just armors up Shield Slam, right? Well, he could attack and then equip the Deathspite, I suppose.
Yeah, that's another option.
Because
it's a bit clunky this turn. Unless he just plays Harrison but that's very swipeable.
Yeah, you don't want to draw. You need to deal with the Druid of the Claw. You can't not deal with that card.
I don't know what I prefer actually. Using the Shield Slam now, because the Shield Slam could be a good turn 7 play with Shield.
I like the Shield Slam. Yeah, the Shield Slam's nice, and this is just clean.
You hit face, right?
Maybe. Well, seemingly not. No. I think the problem is if you hit face, then next turn, yeah, you're locking Deathspite, but the real Deathspite hit you want is the second attack.
Yeah.
Because of the Whirlwind effect, which effectively deals 5 damage. So yeah, I don't mind holding off. Next turn he has the Shield Maiden.
That's true. He probably just wants to stay on curve, keep this weapon available just in case an Aspirant comes down, or something you can just swing into. But I imagine he'll be probably losing this weapon next turn at least, so he can set up a Deathspite, depending on what he draws. And this is such a slow turn for Robin. Robin just hasn't had much good luck with draws for this entire set.
Yeah, and the issue is, as the game goes on, Infi's getting more and more secure, and then it's going to be the flip side. So Robin will have a lot of stuff he can do, but then his top decks become very bad, as it's all the lower part of his deck that he doesn't want late game. I mean, again,
Force of Nature clear.
Well, yeah, if you play Sylvanas, it just straight up dies to the 5/5, and you're losing out. You need Sylvanas to challenge some of the bigger minions from the Warrior.
That's such a reactive kind of play from Robin. He has to play that way because of his hand. And Harrison's going to come down. He's just seen a swipe, hoping there's not another one. But now Robin gets to play Dr. Boom, but it can be cleared quite easily. And he's
this is the issue. If he's just snaps Boom now on 7, then he knows it will die. Whereas if he swipes, then he can clear the Harrison. He can. That's the issue though. He can swipe and do nothing else of value. This is definitely rough. And then if he Ancient of Laws and draws,
he gets straight into.
Fine, but you still drop your minion. You can not get any board, and this is how Warrior can actually win this matchup. the Druid's not done anything for so many turns, and the Warrior's actually ahead on board, which is insane.
It's really tough. I mean, it's not unwinnable for the Druid. It's Druid's good matchup, but he's given Infi a lot of time, and it's not his own fault. It's not his fault he's given him time. You know, he didn't draw well.
Sorry, I actually kind of want to see Harrison into the 7/7 and just play Baron. Yeah. No, I'm being serious. Like, just play Baron.
Just do it. Yeah, I can see that's fine.
Because then if your
opponent gonna hit, right?
Yeah, if your opponent BGHs, it's just not really a problem.
You can use the weapon charge with Harrison here. Clear up one of the boom bots with the Armor Smith. Maybe shield block then to find something else. Maybe develop a Death Spite. But you want a minion, right? You want to be putting... I mean, you could even put Grom into one of the boom bots and just have a big Grom on the board.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
I just like the Geddon.
Yeah.
And you gain armor, so you gain the armor that you'd get from well, you gain one less armor, but you sort of take 1 damage, gain 1 health, so it's fine.
1. Oh, it doesn't even clear it.
Yeah, well, that's crazy. I mean, Swipe's probably going to do some work, maybe, or whether he wants to double Keeper of the Grove, just to get minions on board, but it's just, you're just putting small minions that are doing nothing, which is really tough.
Yeah, that's unfortunate for Infi with the boombot placement there, but a lot of things have been going his way this match. I think Robin needed a bit of pressure relieved. You know, he gets a good swipe here. You can double keeper like you said, but you just kind of throw in 2 lackluster minions on the board for Infi to deal. They don't put any real pressure on.
Yeah. Oh my god, swipe face incoming. That's what we want to see.
One's fine, right? Because he gets at least to put something down.
Oh, okay. Yeah, True Heart's rough now, because he might well not play it this turn. He could, but he might not. But True Heart just pushes you further and further away from lethal from the Druid. It's insane.
I like shield block here. See what
this is fine.
Oh, Sylvanas could be played here, or you could just quick Death Spite, armor up and hit, and then he has Death Spite ready to take an Ancient of Law or Sylvanas. He obviously doesn't know that, but if he knows a Druid's, I mean, he could make a read on that, a good read, but we'll have to see what he decides to do. It is quite he's got a lot of options, right?
Yeah, I like
go for it.
Yeah,
I like this. Just locking out the Druid even further.
Because the whole match has gone where he's been so in control of the board and deals with anything the Druid plays. He may as well set himself up to deal with the next thing his opponent plays. We've not seen executes yet from Infi, which is probably a little bit frustrating for him. But you know, but they are gonna turn up at some point, and then this Ancient of Law, Ancient of Law, probably hero power, and it's gonna just die. And now we can do double armor up with the Justicar, which I like.
The only problem with Justicar is it's so weak to Wrath, but setting up that extra hero armor and hero power, like you said, will take him even further out of reach. I don't think Robin's out of this game just yet.
Yeah, I mean, he still has options. He could just play like Sylvanas, Armor, Smith, hero power after he kills the 5/5. That's fine. It's just I like getting the Justicar down as early as possible. And when you put Justicar on an empty board, yeah, it's weak to Wrath, but, you know, if he doesn't have Wrath, then he's in trouble. Gonna clear. Alright, looks like armor up. Is he gonna do Justicar? No.
Sylvanas.
It's picking. Yeah, Sylvanas, like, for me, Sylvanas is fine. It's not like it's bad. And it doesn't really die too much, actually. So this is probably the best time to drop Sylvanas if you can play it.
Drop her on an empty board and say to the Druid, now, do you really want to play anything? Are you going to silence this? You know, there's a... Just throwing the ball back in the Druid's court, trying to make him react.
Yeah, I'm surprised he's not played the Armor Smith. I don't quite know why. Wow, he topped out the Wrath as well. That's funny.
So we would have had a perfect answer.
Yeah, I wouldn't know why you wouldn't play the Armor Smith, to be honest. I don't get it. Like, what are you playing around by not playing the Armor Smith?
Sylvanas? I guess.
Oh yeah, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, it's very shaky. Like, I think the Armor Smith would have been fine as well. I do agree with you.
Because like he has to deal with Sylvanas. If he deals with Sylvanas, he's just going to gain you more armor, and he still has to deal with the Armor Smith. So like, imagine for this now. Like, would he have had to use Savage Roll? Because like that's 3 more armor, and the Armor Smith's still alive.
Well, he did deal with it quite efficiently, luckily for him. Oh, there's an execute we're talking about.
Yep.
So
probably going to see Death Spy onto the Shredder, though. Why not?
Yeah, so now the Druid is starting to pick up a bit of momentum on the board. Not much, but, you know, Justica's going to come down now, but the Wrath is going to be able to clear that up so nicely. And once the Wrath deals with that, it will give Robin an opportunity to develop a board. And this is where the Brawl is going to be big, right? The Brawl is going to be super important of which direction this matchup will go.
Don't know why Infi's holding off this True Heart. Yeah, True Heart just dies to what's on board, but you don't play True Heart for the body, you play it for the hero power. And it's just, I don't know, it's just a bit, the longer it stays in your hand, not doing anything, the longer you're not getting the extra 2 health from that hero power every turn.
Because he is pressing hero power as often as he can, so we might as well kind of rinse it as much as possible. So Drake, draw more cards. Robin's now starting to get into the thick of his deck. And, you know, this is starting to look pretty decent for him. He can actually just develop some smaller minions and see if he can put enough pressure on Infi now to kind of bait out a Brawl.
Okay, yeah, I think this is brawlable. Oh, maybe not now. Maybe not.
No, Revenge definitely helps clear up 2 minions, right, with Death Spite.
He could just attack in, Revenge, and then just play True Heart. Attack in, Revenge, True Heart, armor up. I think it's okay. Because you leave the aspirant on the 2/1, but do you care if it lives or dies at this point?
No, it's Death Rattle isn't relevant at all. The one thing we were talking about Infi, how strong he had in the early game, going into mid game, but late game, he's starting to struggle a little bit. He's not really finding a lot of ways to challenge his board. I mean, he does have the Brawl, and he does have Revenge.
He just needs your Sarah or boom.
Yeah, he needs a power play that isn't Grom.
Yeah.
Oh, he goes for the Brawl.
Brawl's fine, it guarantees board clear, which is okay. It's just you can't pull it with much else, that's the frustration. Oh, does he even kill it? No,
I
not
just leave it. And once again, this is what the Druid this is the point the Druid gets to sometimes in this matchup. You clear the board, or most of it, and then they just fill it back up again. And Warrior's just like, come on.
Now I like going, oh, see, okay. I would have liked Charge Form there. I would have liked Cat Form. You put pressure on, because suddenly you can just combo next turn.
So, Sarad, Hero Power, Brawl of Sarad, and then next turn be happy. It's pretty tough for him.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got the Revenge, right, to clear up the Druid of the Claw with the Axe, but just, I don't know, nothing feels brilliant here.
I think you probably execute the... Do you execute the Shredder first? Or do you just execute the Druid of the Claw, maybe? Okay, let's see what happens. Okay, now the old just a card's coming down. What's scary now is that's what 14, 18, 20. That's 24 damage he's got on board now. Well, on board and in hand. Sorry. Oh, hang on. No, he just wins. He has Innovate and double roar. That's got to be over 35, right?
I'm sure Robin will confirm that for us in a moment. So
will it be 14?
22 from the combo alone.
Yeah, 22, and then yeah, of course it is.
Yes, it is.
It's easily over. Wow. Okay. Yeah, this matchup is favoured for Druid, but I didn't think it was this favoured. Coming back from that extent.
Yeah, I mean, he was quite behind originally, but you know, Robin managed to draw cards, kind of fight off any kind of aggression coming from Infi, and he managed to take the game. So Robin finally finds a win. He doesn't go down. There's not going to be another 4-0. We know that much. I bet he's happy with that.
Yeah, I think it's really unnerving to go 2-0 down against a player who's clearly things are going right for him. But, you know, Robin did well there. He got the game back. And Druid did its Druid things. So, yeah, he takes a win. And he knows now his opponent's playing Control Warrior. So that's good information for him.
Yeah, so moving forward now, we have a Control Warrior left for Infi. We still have a mystery deck. I can't quite remember which one it was off the top of my head. And whereas Robin still has Secret Paladin to win with, which hasn't been doing him very well. as well as a shaman, which could be aggro shaman, mid-range shaman, could be anything. I'm assuming it's aggro shaman since its popularity recently. So
yeah, you'd imagine so.
Yeah, did he have a warrior himself, Robin? I can't quite remember. We'll see when the next game starts. But maybe the casters from that side will reveal to us what Robin plans to play next.
Team up all the casters, China casters, the Russian casters, UK. We'll get there between all of us eventually.
We'll get one of those chairs, casting from one of those chairs. Imagine that.
What were the China ones?
Yeah, just have a camera in the screen, right, and it'd be perfect.
It would be too comfortable. We need to sit up and be like focused instead of falling asleep in a comfortable chair. Yeah.
Well, it looks like they're going straight into the next game here. We're not going to see what's going to be revealed here. Infi sticking with the warrior.
Oh, it's because we've seen these, right? Because it's Secret Paladin again.
And it looks like Robin is going to pray that this Secret Paladin actually takes the game now, because he's been struggling a little bit with it.
Yeah. This game's really swingy, I think. So, if the Paladin can curve well, as the Paladin wants to do, of course, it can just run away with the game and get too much tempo for the warrior to come back with, even with a brawl. Because what you kind of want to happen is brawl happens, and then you Mysterious Challenger afterwards. But the warrior does have executes, which are pretty big. So you proc avenge targets, hopefully onto the 6/6. You execute it, and then forget about it because it's done. So, you know, the game's, I think, pretty even. Maybe the Paladin's a little bit favoured, but if the warrior can get weapons early, then it swings that way. So, kind of tough. Although we see Infi doesn't have any weapons, so no Fiery War Axe is pretty important, actually.
And, you know, Robin has a mini-bot to go forward here. Cruel Taskmaster's not going to be really able to challenge that. He's got the Shredder, he's got the Challenger as well. So, Robin does have kind of that early board pressure, but Infi has the Brawl. So the Brawl will definitely assist him in moving forward into clearing the board if it does get too out of hand. And the Brawl could be really strong, especially if you can have a weapon available as well. Proc all the secrets off, so all the secrets are used up, then you Brawl, and then hopefully they get like a 1/1 or something.
Yeah, so the problem here now is Slam on the 2/2 looks okay. But, maybe Taskmaster coined Slam. The problem is you're not sure what the secret is. If it's Avenge, it's a problem. If it's Redemption, it's a big problem. Okay, so this is fine.
I guess he's going to figure out what the secret is now. Redemption, Avenge, ends up being Avenge, hitting one of the best targets eventually.
Now you probably want to cry if you're Infi.
But he's still on 30 health. I mean, he can be a little bit patient. He does have a way to deal with it next turn. Shield block, shield slam, after using the Cruel Taskmaster to pop the shield, but again, it's still a bit rough.
Yeah, and follow up with Shredder though. I mean, so this is how Robin's going to win this game. He needs to just keep going, keep dropping annoying creatures to deal with, because Infi doesn't have a nice way to do this. Actually, he needs to like slam, run in, execute.
Shield block, shield slam as well.
Yeah, but then he has like no mana to do anything with.
Oh wow, he goes that way instead. Okay.
I suppose he has Brawl next turn, right? So he wants to kill the Shredder?
Yeah, that makes sense. I think popping the Shredder open here is fine. It's a very patient play, and I think he has time right now. It's only turn 5 going in for the Paladin, and he still has a decent amount of health.
Oh look, the Paladin can aim his hero power onto his side of the board.
He can literally hurl dudes on his side of the board. Hurl a dude for 1 damage.
There's a dude cannon.
A dude sniper.
So secret. See, this is nice now. So the Argus is going to be played, and now you just Brawl and hope to God the minibot doesn't survive. So if the minibot survives, maybe you hit the minibot. You hit the minibot? No, because you want the chance to win the Brawl with the Armorsmith, right?
Yeah, I mean, you either go for Brawl here, or you try and hit the shield off, and shield block, shield slam. That gives you some sustain. It looks like he's just gonna go for the... Okay, so he's got... So, if... The reason he's done this, if he Brawls now and that survives, he can coin execute it. I think that's why he's gone for the hit there.
Yeah, he can shield slam. Oh, that one, right, alright. Yeah, he's still... The minibot's the problem, though. Yeah, the mini-bot's not fantastic here. You might actually avoid the brawl completely.
So I guess just adjusting the quality of the stream here. Just to make it look a bit clearer for you guys. Oh,
Make it look a bit fancier.
That's sharp. So I kind of missed what he went for. He went to shield block, shield slam. Wait, what? Okay,
yeah, he just went shield block, shield slam.
Interesting.
But it's just a shame that he attacked with the armor smith on the same target. Yeah.
Yeah, he kind of changed his mind, right?
Yeah, a little bit indecisive there. And now this is kind of scary. The warrior's on 18 health, and that's a full tree, guys. We have a full tree.
Christmas. Well, Christmas comes early for Robin, right?
Brawl's gonna bring back the mini bot if it dies. Sorry, yeah, Brawl's. Oh, the mini bot. So the Argus comes back as the one. Look at this mini bot. And there's no way to deal with it. There's no way to deal with it. He's still got the divine shield and no damage on it. So he executes the Argus, but the mini bot's gonna whack him for 10.
Because the Argus becomes a 3/2 at the end of the turn. And the mini-bot becomes a 10-8 with Divine Shield Taunt. Oh, man.
Yeah.
That is rough. This Warrior deck's kind of letting Infi down a little bit here.
Yeah, it's definitely a tough matchup when it goes something like this. It's definitely tough. Because if it's the mini-bot getting the Avenge and not being able to... That's why I liked doing something funky with the mini-bot last turn. Or the turn before, maybe, actually.
Alright.
And then, like, yeah, what?
How do you deal with a 10-8 with Divine Shield, right?
You don't, you die. Zombie Child's a bit of a dead draw. He can just play Buster, it just doesn't matter. Buster hero power.
Swing.
He's just seen Brawl, right? So you're not really scared of a second one.
So, Robin is so close to finding a win with this Paladin. He's been struggling 2 games before. But this is his opportunity to get a win on the board and tie the series up 2-2. Will Infi draw what he needs? No.
He needed that like 10 turns ago, even though there's only been 7 turns in the game.
He needed Brawl number 2, right? Which doesn't exist.
He's going to just see what he gets from the Sarad.
Moonfire. Killer 1-1.
And it's Polymorph. Oh. He's reading that card to see what it actually does. He's probably never played it. But yeah, Infi drops another game. I mean, that is rough. That mini-bot alone did some work.
So Robin ties it up. He gets a win with that Paladin, which he'd struggled with. Got a win with the Druid, even though it was looking very much in Infi's favour. Now this Control Warrior is starting to be a little bit of a problem for Infi. He's not really finding what he needs to be able to close out a game. It's been tough.
Yeah, and Robin now has his Warrior and his Shaman left.
Yes.
So maybe, I don't know. It depends what his Warrior is, because I don't think we've seen his Warrior yet. But the problem now is if he locks in... Oh, no, sorry. Oh, yeah, that's right. He has Warrior Shaman. If he locks in his Warrior and Infi flicks over to his Druid, then he could just snipe a quick win pretty easily there. So there's probably going to be a couple of little mind games in the picks now.
They have to do a few reads, a read from each side, really. Is he going to pick Druid? Is he not going to pick Druid? It very much comes down to Infi picking Druid or not. Because, like you said, if Druid hits the Warrior, he gets a cheeky win there, potentially. But if the Druid hits the Shaman could potentially just wreck him quite easily. So it's roll the dice, I guess. Don't play the mind games, just roll the dice.
Yeah, just 50-50 it. It's probably the best way, actually. Make it completely random and not unreadable, but on your side unreadable, because there's nothing you've had no input in the pick.
If you eliminate the mind games with randomness at this point, you won't feel bad, right? We just had a deck screen and then it disappeared again. Oh,
so it was Shaman, it was Aggro Shaman with Finley in it as well, and the Doomhammers, etc. And this is just Druid. This is like standard Druid, right?
Yeah, instead of running that Scenarios, so Ancient of War, he's running 2 Shades of Nax. So all the other Druids have been running 1 Shade of Nax each so far. So nothing too out of the ordinary there for you guys. Just a standard Druid, and he's going to run into the Shaman. So it's looking like a good matchup for, I would say, Robin at the moment. I've played a lot against a lot of Druid on ladder with Aggro Shaman, and they just can't deal with the damage from hands, really. That's the thing they really struggle with.
Yeah, well, that's it. What you do is you build the board up early enough, run away with the board early. Similar to the way the Mage deck was supposed to be played early on. that we saw earlier today. You put so much pressure on board, and then you just finish them with, say, lava bursts, lightning bolts, crackles, etc.
Yeah, turn 6, 7, you can usually do about 16 damage from hand, especially if you've got Doomhammer set up. So there's a lot of things the Druid can't deal with. They need taunts to kind of slow down your early game pressure. But with like Feral Spirits and Totem Golem, it's really tough for them.
Yeah, he actually kept the Doomhammer as well, so that's going to be the Doomhammer is a lot of pressure, and it's a good keep. But then you have to really sort of focus on not overloading yourself ready for turn 5.
Yeah, Lava Shock definitely helps with that. Turn 4, you can Lava Shock to clear out any overload crystals you might use. But he actually gets quite a nice curve here. The only problem with using Feral Spirits on 2 is you need a 1 cost, right? But I think he might...
It's okay, he can Lightning Bolt.
He can Lightning Bolt, true. So, yeah, it's going to be good to buff this guy up to a 3/2.
Yeah, I think, depending on what he draws... Ooh. Yeah, I think the Feral Spirits are good here.
And that's a card that came from TGT, which really had no impact at all until this deck came about, which was the Ancestral Knowledge. The Overload really plays nicely on the Trog, Unbound Elementals if they're running them, but not only that, Lava Shock can help clear up the mana. And look what the Druid has to do here, he kind of just has to sit here in Hero Power for a couple of turns, and the board can really swing out of control.
Oh wow, yeah, drop another Trog. Nice. And then next turn he can just Ancestral Knowledge and then Lava Shock. And then go straight into Doomhammer the turn after.
So strong.
Yeah, this is a lot of pressure. The Innovate though, ooh, what do you want to do?
Do you feel you need a taunt right now? Or do you just ping the 3/2 with the Keeper?
It's tough because the Keeper does nothing else, that's the problem. Maybe you need the taunt, maybe you just Thorison. But that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, that's 8 beyond. Ooh, maybe you have to go for the taunt.
And this is where Druid really struggles. It gets to this point.
Maybe even Sylvanas. Because, yeah, Sylvanas, a lot of these decks only run 1 Earthshock max and no Hex. So maybe go Sylvanas to just trade away and try and steal another minion to deal with as many minions on the board as possible. And then next turn you can Druid the Claw.
The only issue there is with Sylvanas is this Shaman's not going to be hitting this Sylvanas. She's going to have to go through 2 wolves. And then she has to kill herself. So she needs to kill 3 minions before she gets value. You might be dead before then. I think Thorison might have been better. Because then you could have just made stuff cheaper. So you make your heal cheaper, you make your silence cheaper, you make your taunt cheaper.
Yeah, it just wouldn't have lined up next turn very well. That's the problem. I'm looking at what I actually like here. Maybe the knowledge and... Because all I'm thinking is, if you play Feral Spirit Lightning Bolt, do you even need Doomhammer? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's 12. And he has Lightning Bolt as well. So, yeah.
And this is
this is scary.
Yeah, it's frightening because he just
Infi doesn't look happy. Let's be honest. Look, he doesn't. He
looks
look happy
disgusted actually. Yeah. Just disgusted with the amount of damage.
God damn aggro shaman. Like, and the yawn. Yeah, he's like, oh well, this game's a loss.
Oh man, what do you do? It's just you stab the taunt and
hope. He can't even keep at the grove his own Sylvanas to kill it.
And it's over.
5. Yeah, that's game.
Wow, quick game there. It really shows the power of this aggro shaman deck if it lines up to the good matchup, which I think Druid is a good matchup for this deck after playing it a lot myself. Yeah. But yeah, sigh of relief there from Robin. He's 1 game away from winning the whole set, and he was so close. He went 2-0 down at the start. It was looking really good for Infi, but he just can't seem to squeeze another win at the moment.
Yeah, and it looks like Robin is only got his warrior left, and I imagine that Infi's just going to lock his Druid to get that first win on the board, and then we will potentially be looking at a warrior mirror.
So we are potentially bookending this whole quarterfinals, right? From like 4-3 to 4-0 to 4-0 to 4-3. So don't let us down, Infi. We need this.
we need the mirrored bracket. That's what we need.
We want a bit of symmetry on our bracket. So yeah, it's probably, like I said, it's probably going to be the Druid. But then again, what if Robin surprises us with a Patron Warrior?
Yeah, it's a tough one. I just think like no one's played Patron, and Patron, although people are still playing it, isn't as good as it used to be, obviously. and like it's continuing to fall off. Maybe everyone playing like Paladin at the moment is continuing to make Patron okay, but I personally don't know if it's strong enough in terms of tournament. Although Purple won DreamHack with Patron, so it can't be that bad, right?
The people who invested all that time into playing Patron when it was good probably will want to keep with the Patron. Because of the time invested, they've gained all the skill and knowledge they needed from the deck. It is Patron.
Yeah, it is Patron. I wonder if Infi just knew. If he actually just knew it was Patron. Because obviously we don't know these players as well as they'll know each other. So, like, certain people will play Patron Warrior over... if they have a Warrior, you're like, yeah, that's Patron, obviously. So he might have had that knowledge and just gone for his Warrior. And what does he actually have for the opening hand? He has the Justicar, which is really important, especially versus Patron, because there's no instant burst, so you can just keep armoring up and they'll never kill you. Obviously, Deathbite, important. Sylvanas, pretty good. Yeah, pretty decent hand overall. Deathbite's going to be huge in dealing with these Frothing Berserkers, actually, if they're played on on curve.
And there's one player who won StarLadder the season 1 in the finals, Stan Sifka, who was just an expert at fighting Patron with Control Warrior. Some of the games he had with Control Warrior in the first season 1 finals were just incredible, like absolutely incredible. And this is such a tough... I think this matchup's even worse now for Patron, because they don't have the burst potential they used to have. It's just no fear. You just clear the board once it's developed with a brawl or something. So it's really tough for them.
Yeah, and the Deathbite clearing off the Berserker's pretty nice, and he's gonna go for the Shredder as well. What drops? 2/2. That's fine. Just plays the War Axe. And then sets up next turn Sludge Belcher, which is going to be really nice for him, just to just secure the board. So he's took a bit of damage, but he can get that back pretty quickly, especially with just a car.
So what does he want to do here? Maybe play his own axe with a Frothing, or maybe just go for Shredder. Because Belcher's gonna.
Yeah, I kind of just like Shredder because it forces the weapon into the Shredder again, and you still keep a minion, right?
Yeah, seems reasonable. And Harrison's ready as well for any weapons that's going to come from Robin, so things are looking really decent at the moment, at least for Infi, especially when he develops, say, a Justica. He can start snowballing his life out of control, kind of get him out of reach of the Patron, and Robin really hasn't drawn enough yet.
Well, the issue here with Robin is the lack of Whirlwind effects. So he needs Whirlwind effects to Battle Rage, and he needs Whirlwind effects to obviously spawn multiple Patrons. So he just needs something to proc. Like, he has Acolyte, Battle Rage, and Patrons. He just needs that Whirlwind effect. Whether it's a Deathbite or an actual Whirlwind, fine. Or a Ghoul even. But he definitely is suffering a little bit. I would imagine we see Execute onto this 7/4 save, taking the damage. Because if he takes the 7 damage, that's actually quite a lot.
Owl is a decent pickup here as well. So if Acolyte comes down on its own with no Inner Rage or no Whirlwind, he'll be able to lock out even more card draws from Robin here. And that's the name of the game here. Just slow this Patron down as much as possible. It's not a one-turn kill deck anymore. It's a mid-range deck that requires tempo on the board, and then it eventually gets a big Patron turn, and you hopefully will be able to swing from there. But the problem is, Warrior has all the tools to deal with this stuff. And this
Battle Raging for 1. Not fantastic.
Feels bad, right?
Yeah. Okay, so the Acolyte goes down on its own, and the Fire War Axe, I imagine, is just going to clean this up. He's even going to Owl it, which I like quite a lot, because what this does is, like, you don't want Patron drawing any cards, any extra cards whatsoever. So the fact that that looks like kind of overkill, it really isn't versus this deck. If Patron can get a big Battle Rage off, they can actually just win.
Yeah, Owl was a great pickup last turn, ready for that. Again, passive draws from Robin, nothing really stands out. Oh, this is Whirlwind effect. It's a bit late though.
At last, yeah.
But he still needs an Inner Rage or a Deathbite to complement it. Otherwise, it's just these Patrons are not going to see play for a little while.
Yeah, and he's just going to armor up there, just play it safe, because he can't do the turn yet, as you said. But, okay. So, yeah, True Heart Hero Power now, and then next turn, if you're safe enough, you just play your Sarah. Because suddenly, the Warrior has to deal with a 6/3 when he's just used his War Axe. And if the 6/3 eats the Execute, then you really want to just play your Sarah.
Does he go for it here? Patron, Whirlwind, Battle Rage. That's 3 cards.
He might have to, but the issue is he leaves the 6-3 up. Unless he can draw an inner rage from the battle rage.
And then he can just ping it with that, yeah.
I think he has to. He needs the card draw.
He needs to do something.
The only other play is to like run Grom into the 6-3, but that just feels bad. And if there's an execute, then you're just in super trouble.
He's definitely considering it. I think, like, I agree. I would just potentially just go for that. High page. You can't play the waiting game anymore with this deck because you don't have the damage from hand that you used to. You need to be active on board, and this will definitely make him active on board, and you'll draw a lot of cards. But it looks like he's thinking about the Grom here. Time is running out. You're not going to have a lot of time to spawn patrons and battle rage at the same time. Armor up pass.
Oh, okay.
Oh, so passive.
Yeah,
And even if you get slammed.
Yeah, even if he left the 6-3 up, like fine. Like you know, you're drawing so many cards, it's worthwhile because now it starts to get a bit of an issue. I mean, he can now execute as well. He has double execute now. So does he want one whirlwind? I don't think he can do one whirlwind. I think he needs two. Yep. And then battle rage for the rest of his deck, and then just execute the Ysera and just deal with the fact that there's a 6-2 alive.
You have to whirlwind here, I think.
I think double execute is too much.
Yeah, that's overextended considering how many threats of what the control rate has. And
yeah, so he's gonna battle.
Yeah, for something for free health on execute, that should be easy for a word to deal with.
And well, all he needs is an inner rage anyway, and that'll clean that up.
And he just takes it.
Throw one.
Okay.
What sort of health are we looking at now? So he's on 27. You have Grom. You have a way to proc Grom. So that's 19.
He has a full clear.
Oh,
yeah.
he can nearly kill him because of Nightmare. That's a lot of damage. I like I like going face. Go aggressive.
I mean, he's a controller, right? He's playing it safe.
Hit him in the face.
Aggro control hybrid warrior.
Yeah. Look, he has a lot of damage, okay? And, like, you're not going to get burst down, are you?
Oh, I think he might agree with you. Board.
Yes! Oh, okay, I don't like the trade. Smoke. This is still fine, because what this does is it negates the chance of spawning more patrons. Oh, and there's Inner Rage. One turn. Or one draw, should I say, too late.
Surely he has to Inner Rage on the Acolyte here.
I guess. I don't know. You might just keep it. Because another way for patrons, right? Because the 3-1 patron will always be a 3-1 now. So maybe, yeah, maybe you just ignore it. I'll kill it with weapons.
Oh, wow.
No, he's going. Yeah, he probably needs to.
He's going for the Grom kill now, right?
Yeah, I like this.
Yeah, he's going for the Grom kill. But that'll belong in the museum, I imagine. Yeah, you can just run into there, you gains one card, and then he can Harrison. He clears the patron, he clears the board, and then he can like shield block armor up and say, you're so out of range.
Yeah.
Alright.
I think this is fine.
And what did he draw? Dr. Boom. Oh, that's a good draw. That's a good draw.
Yeah, it's one of the cards that'll definitely help sort of coming back into this game, but this is going to be a bit rough.
Not what you want to see, really. BGH would have been nice in response to the Dr. Boom that's going to come out. But he gets another draw, gets the armor up, and look at his health. He's back up to a very safe range.
Yeah, what you've got to bear in mind as well is, though, the Armor Smith, he can play like Shield Maiden, Armor Smith, and then Revenge next turn, which is going to be a ton more armor. Because now all he's bothered about is just, like, he's still not seeing Grom, so he's a bit worried about that. Obviously, Boom's just dropped, but you just need to just stay out of range. Oh, he just has his own Boom. Okay. Do you play your own Boom and Nightmare, your Harrison here, just to kill his? I think that's
that seems reasonable.
Seems like a play.
Then you can play Armor Smith as well. So if he starts trading, the Armor Smith can soak up some stuff.
Yeah.
But he goes for the hero power instead, just to get the 4 armor.
Yep. Is this stream just
yep.
Oh, yeah.
It looks like we've lost it.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's not our fault, guys. Seems like the Russian streams lost the feed for a second there.
And it's back.
Hey.
So he doesn't. Yeah, he goes to the armor up instead of the Armor Smith. I would have liked an Armor Smith, I think. But Brawl.
Oh my God! If the Boom survives,
it's gonna be devastated.
No! Feed, stay.
1 Boombot. 2 Boombot. 3 Boombot. 4 Boombot. What survived? Nothing. Apparently.
Yeah, we can't quite see what survived, which is a bit unfortunate.
There's nothing left on the board. He didn't clear it. I guess it was the Harrison. Ah, this is just... There's just no way, right? He's coming back. Robin. This is... The Warrior's just so comfortable.
Yeah, I just don't think he can do enough damage now. There's only Grom, and he does have patrons, but he can just deal with the patrons anyway, so pretty easily, so it shouldn't be too much of an issue. And he's starting to get a lot of damage himself, with Shield Maiden going to come down next turn, probably. At worst, he can just play Baron. He's seen Executes. Has he seen both Executes now? I believe so.
Yes.
Yeah, Grom and Ysera, right?
Yep, that's true.
So now there's no good way to deal with Baron. So, yeah, he could just slam Baron next turn if he really wants to.
If you want to play super safe, he's got Shield Maiden, Armor Up, Armored Smith, and just have amazing sustain. Or you can be aggressive, like you said, which I think is probably the best option. Just might as well start trying to win the game now. You've sustained long enough. Just try and actually finish the game off. Another passive turn from Robin there, not playing anything at all. Ooh, I like this, actually.
Yeah, this is fine. Just armor up, see what happens. You don't really... At this point, you can probably just do it. Wow, Blade Flurry.
Blade Flurry!
Oh my god.
Wow. That's 5 damage that Deathspite does with Blade Flurry.
Yeah, patrons are just not a thing now. It just won't really matter. And double in a rage, that's going to be game. And Infi takes it. So it's going to come down to Druid versus Warrior. And it is going to be Patron Warrior versus the mid-range Druid. So, bit of a... I mean, I think I remember Monk maybe a month or so ago, maybe 2 months ago, saying the stats sort of favoured the actual played tournament stats favoured the Druid by a tiny percentage. But, you know, like, Patron's still pretty decent, right? Because Druid struggles to deal with the Patron board, effectively. But sometimes Druid can just get ahead enough and have awkward minions for the Patron to deal with that they then just combo them down anyway. Because the Patron Warrior doesn't normally armor up too much in the Druid matchup.
You kind of need a dream with the Patron hand, right? Deathspite into Patron into Inner Rage. And you kind of have that turn 5 or turn 6 board. And it's just really hard for them to deal with. But he's got one part of the dream there with the Deathspite. He just needs to find the other pieces, kind of the puzzle for this matchup specifically. And he actually keeps a hold of the Fiery War Axe for the Aspirant as well, which is pretty common these days. An adaptation that a lot of decks had to take to deal with that Aspirant when playing against it.
Yeah, he's actually playing Brawl in this deck as well, which is interesting for a Patron deck.
Oh,
not something you see too often. Yeah, so he has Patron. He's got a few turns to draw it in a rage, then he's going to be in business. But we do see there's Wrath, there's Swipe, so the Druid does have answers, and even Savage Roar, depending on if there's any minions on the board at that point. So he can really, like, you know, like a Savage Roar hero power can deal with probably 2 patrons if you've got the minion on board. Although the Ancient of Laws, a little bit slow, resulting in hero power to face.
Yep, very slow turn there, but then again, what's the Warrior going to do in response? I guess he just hits face with a weapon and sets up the Deathspite next turn. You kind of want to play Deathspite next turn, right? So you want your turn 5 Patron. But he just passes, okay. So he's relying on the coin here a little bit to do some stuff. And nothing for Infi either, just hero power and turn 4 pass, very slow. And you can tell from his expression that he's not happy with the way
he's going to sleep.
Patron
that's what you
bores
get
him so much, he just starts nodding off.
God damn it, Hearthstone.
This ain't Warcraft.
Yeah, this is okay. The problem here, yeah, I like this, because the issue with just going Deathspite and trying to Patron next turn is that, like, your opponent's not played any minions, so he's either got the high-end minions or he's got the spells. If he's got the spells, and you can only make 2 patrons, then that is actually quite easy to deal with. Low Theb versus Low Theb.
Yeah, he gets Deathspite now. But he would have had Deathspite to clear up that Low Theb if he had played out. But it doesn't really matter now, because on turn 6 now he's going to have Patron with the Deathspite and the Whirlwind, so he's going to get 4 patrons, and then the Druid has to deal with that. And Swipe can be a bit of a nuisance sometimes in that kind of situation.
Yeah, and the problem now is like, oh, the trade's good. Okay, I like this. Because if you Wrath swiped, then that's your answer to patrons, right? So saving them's very important there. I like dropping Sylvanas. It creates a bit of an awkward board for your opponent.
Well, now you can't patron. He's locked him out, so I can imagine a Slam's gonna come on this, maybe with an Execute. And then maybe hopefully develop something else like a Throvin or a Dread Corsair if he's running them. That's what he kind of needs to hope for. You can't go for the patron turn now.
Yeah, I think he almost has to just slam Execute because that Sylvanas is going to be too much of a pain. Let's see what he draws.
Another Execute.
Oh, okay.
Doesn't reveal.
Oh, off the top as well, yeah.
Yeah, he keeps the other one hidden, which is good for him. Gets armor up and he gets the pass, so he still gets that patron turn. If he waits till 8, he gets a couple more patrons. He can play Dr. Boom next turn, keep the weapon, then wait till 8 and make a big board. We'll have to see what he decides to do.
Yeah. Infi's just going to draw some cards. Any more answers to patrons? Another Ancient of Lore and Thaurissan. Okay. But he doesn't have any of the combo pieces other than one Savage Roar for the Thaurissan. So if he had like just a Force of Nature or even double Savage Roar or something, that would be nice to reduce that down and just make like a stupid burst turn happen.
Looks like he wants a patron. I guess he wants to clear the Ancient of Lore, which is completely fine. If something a bit weaker, if he had a weaker turn, he could have potentially just went for the Dr. Boom that turn, sorry.
Yeah.
But he still has a Whirlwind effect and another patron in hand, so it's not like if this board gets cleared, he's in complete trouble. Dr. Boom, Patron Whirlwind, still a lot of options.
Yep, and now there's too many patrons for like the Wrath swipe to actually clear. It's going to Wrath 1.
Oh, he can silence one, right? But he can't.
Oh, that's true.
He
Yeah.
can't innovate. He can't innovate.
Oh.
Yeah, this is tough.
Do you not want to hero power the 5-1?
He's gonna take 5 damage anyway, right? I guess he could ramp up.
I just don't know what's the ramp actually gaining him. Because next turn he can, as your Drake, swipe anyway, which is surely what you're sort of looking to do on this board, right?
But now it's a little bit more troublesome. Well, he can go for Dr. Boom now. I think I prefer Dr. Boom to another patron board. You've already got patrons, right?
Yeah, but there's no way to duplicate them. I mean, I suppose Whirlwind. He could Rage Whirlwind. No, it would be Whirlwind first. I don't
he could trade the 5-1 into the 2-4. He could Rage the 3-1. He could Whirlwind, and then he could play Dr. Boom. If he wants to do it that way.
Yeah.
And I think he is going. Is he just going to play another patron and just make a massive board again?
The thing is, if your opponent couldn't fully deal with your patron board last turn, then he can't deal with it this turn with even more on the board.
No Rage.
Oh no, this is right. No, this is right.
Oh, I get the maximum amount of patrons.
Yeah, this is right. Yeah, this is nice, because now how does the Druid actually deal with this?
Mega Swipe's not going to be enough.
And he's not even close to being able to combo him down, even with the Emperor as well.
Oof, tough turn for Infi here. I guess he could still Drake swipe one of the 3/3s, and he leaves 6 damage on board. And
well, no, hang on. He can Oh yeah, because he's got one more. Yeah, I was working out whether Force of Nature swipe is better, but I don't think it makes a difference.
Just going for full combo here to clear up. So just leave the 3-1 alive, which is probably better actually. Yeah, that's a lot better.
This is okay. It's just you sort of
throw your winning condition away, right?
Well, I mean, maybe he's relying on there's no patrons. How does this guy win? But Grom is a card. And as we can see, Boom is a card. So, yeah, this is kind of rough. Now Dr. Boom's going to come down.
And he's still going to take another 3 to face. He gets the Battle Rage first. Maybe find a lethal.
No, this is fine. You just drop Boom, and then it's like, right, okay, you've just about held on. Can you carry on, like, just holding off? And he's only on 6 health. Boom bots could just kill him. That's what's scary. I might see Rage on a Boom bot to just go for 4 to the face for VM.
You want to see some VM from these players.
And the issue here is, yeah, he can't draw with the Ancient of Lore because he would need BGH, and even that, still puts him at 1.
What is in his deck that could save him? Ancient of War, I don't think he's actually running it.
Well, he needs BGH, I think. BGH swipe, right?
Yes.
He needs BGH swipe. Oh, that isn't BGH swipe.
Drake for BGH here. Nope, doesn't find it.
Well played.
Very close game. Infi was looking very strong at the start, but Robin, you know, he brought it back after some poor results with that secret paladin. So Robin's gonna go forward, and no, we'll see Infi again tomorrow when he plays in losers semis.
Yeah, really close game.